we got our share, but it ain't like one game argue, no more games left, right?
Okay.
So, make a long story short, I was my I had a friend, well my my ex was what we would do, and you know how this go. You go play,
Right.
go work, and then at night, whoever got done up, whoever didn't lose the game, you having a three-way conversation, you texting, man, why you let him do you like that? Why you let him?
Right.
So now those conversations at night before you're in bed, like, you know what, I'm going to get him Wednesday. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to get him. Yeah, he got me today.
Right.
So we doing it all the time. And I remember being like, hey, man, you need to go coach. Or you need to go, like, try to get to ESPN or something. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. That seems like a lot of work. Once again, not knowing what I don't know, right?
Right.
I never saw myself like writing about the game as a journalist, right? So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And it just so happened, Odell Bradley.
Shout out to Big O. He gonna be on the show too.
Shout out to Big O. When I tell the story, and I always tell, he's a big part of my story. He was already officiating little kids on Saturday. So when we would hang out on Saturday nights, you know, with the crew, he was like, man, I'll catch up with y'all later. I gotta go do these games. I'm not thinking nothing about it though, right?
Right.
So he's already officiating basketball, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you come get this." At the time, maybe $20 an hour.
That's right.
Well, that's better than a part-time job. I don't have to report to somewhere that I don't want to report to, right? Let me try it. Tried it, and just instantly was one of those things that was like, man, I'm around the kids. I'm still playing every day. And it's better than a part-time job.
Right.
So that was my entry point. Shout out to my my homeboy Lil Fred, because Lil Fred was the first one to say, hey, let's go to TSSAA, which is the High School Association.
Right.
Better than a part-time job. Let's register. Let's figure that piece of it out, right? And so I don't think Lil Fred ever registered, but he went to like one meeting with me, and I ended up registering.
Okay.
And it was late too. It was like in December, and you're supposed to register like in August.
Right.
So
was Andy still over it?
Andy is still over it now.
Okay,
he's still over it now. So we I registered late and got like one middle school game my first year, which I don't consider my first year. So I get into it. Once again, when I blew the whistle, it was something about it was like, man, I'm around it because I'm watching it. It's great, and I'm getting paid for it, right? All right, cool. So what I do, I come back the next year, register on time,
right?
Make sure everything's cool the way it needs to be cool, right?
Did you need much training?
So what happened was when you first start out, you start off in middle school.
Okay, got it.
A lot of parents may not like to hear that, but that's you really cannot start off just doing little kids because they're still learning and it's way more chaotic. By the time you get to middle school, it shouldn't be as chaotic. So that's just your entry point, regardless of how you feel. That's your entry point, right?
Right.
So I go through the my first middle school year, and I'm just getting games every Tuesday and Thursday. Me and Odell, matter of fact, we would call each other. Where you at? I'm here. Okay, cool. Let's do this XYZ. And it was everything. It was everything. So you fast forward my middle school year, which is I consider my very first year because I was getting games consistently, right?
Okay. Right.
I got a call to do a tournament that a lady was putting on when men's tournaments was a big thing, right?
Right.
So but she wanted me to do the little kid piece of it. Cool. So me and Carlos.
Okay.
Me and Carlos Haley. We went out there. Never get. We laugh about this. We laugh about this all the time. We did 13 games that day.
Wow.
Yeah, 13. And we walked out of there like, man, this is crazy.
Wow.
Like we walked out, we could barely walk out the gym. We did 13 games that day, right?
That's crazy.
And it was fun, right? It was fun. And then, but on the other side, the men's leagues was going on. The men tournament. So Penny Hardaway had his team.
Mm-hmm.
A couple cats from Atlanta had their team.
Oh,
St.
man.
Louis had their team.
That's
So it was competition.
And this is your first year?
I'm going in my first summer. So I just did middle school.
Yeah.
So I'm going in but I'm doing the little kids in this tournament. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm doing the little kid piece of it.
Got it.
But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they have the men piece of it, right? So officially, I'm not ready for that, right?
Right.
So I go over there, and I just see some guys, and they working. Okay, that's cool. And then I see a lady. She putting in work.
Yeah.
As an official. One thing I always pride myself off, game recognized game.
Right.
It's something about her. She different.
She running things.
Different. I just go up to her and say, hey, how long have you been officiating? She said, I'm in my 4th year. Cool. What levels do you officiate? She was like, I still do a little high school, but I'm doing some D3, some D2, and NIAA as well too. All in her 4th year. So if you don't know, that's kind of like in the right trajectory.
Yeah, right.
You're still a young official.
Right.
Cool. Who's teaching you X, Y, and Z?
You got all kind of questions.
Right. And she was like, there's this group out of Atlanta, ABOG at the time. It's a lot of college officials that mentor us on Saturdays and Zoom calls and this, that, and the third, right? So I said, well, when do they meet? And she was like, they meet, randomly, whatever the case might be, but here's the number, you can call this, that, and the third. So this was in July. So the summer's almost over at that point. Right. So I wait till next year to link up with them. So I go down there on a Thursday night and sit in this meeting. And these college officials just giving game, right? Just giving game. We watching film. I ain't never been around nothing like this as far as officiating day in my life. It's detailed. It's hard. It's stern.
Yeah.
It's right. So I meet 2 mentors that are still my close friends, still my mentors to this day. And, they're in the SEC. Oh, wow. I meet it's funny. I meet James Williams the same day with AKA Gucci Ref.
Okay.
Still friends to this day.
Yeah.
Still a mentor to this day. But we're talking about 11 years ago.
Right.
So James, who AKA Gucci Ref, who now referees in the finals, who are one of the best referees in the NBA, he's a young official in the NBA. He's in the G League / NBA. Right. He's still trying to cut his teeth.
Right.
Figure this thing out. He's there.
Right.
But he's not who he is today.
Got it.
So I'm seeing them early in my progression, and they giving me game.
Yeah.
So I come back to Nashville the next year, get my first varsity crew list where I'm getting games, and it's been popping ever since as far as the connections and how I'm trying to, the trajectory on what's what. But that's the entry point of how I got into it, just by arguing every night about what happened at the Y that morning. Right. Just arguing about it. And then I realized it was a passion because like it's hard to give it up when you do it for so long. And, and I hear Gilbert Arenas all the time saying, especially for the NBA guys, the structure, like how they just go through remorse when it's done. But a high school guy does the same thing too. If you semi-successful from junior pro to middle school to high school, and then you might do a little junior card, it's hard to give it up. That's why we play all these, men's league and this, that, and the third.
Right.
And so I'm glad I got a hold of a way to stay around the game. It's just in a different avenue.
The most difficult part of high school, even college, was after the season over with. That down part, that sort of depressive part. The structure's gone.
Right.
I need to go to the gym and work out because the season's over with. Mm-hmm. I remember when my last game at Trevecca at Belmont, I cried like a baby because I knew it was really over with. My last game at Belmont.
Yeah.
I think I had like 20-some points. I didn't have too many. But my mom was there, my brother was there, my dad. And I see my mom cry because she saw me crying. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it's over with. And those years go by so fast, man. It's just like a blur. Going up to Trevecca in my Dawson B2 team with all my clothes in the back. Next thing you know, graduate. Yeah. It's like, where does time go?
Because we look at our time from season to season.
Right.
So we don't really look at it per year.
Right.
It's kind of like as a grown man, you look at your finances from check to check. And then before you know it's December.
Right.
So, you freshman year, all right, freshman practice, we getting it, season over. But you like, man, I got 3 more. So that downtime in the summertime, you just kind of chilling. But then it's the next season, you like, okay. So we kind of compartmentalize season to season.
Right. And then it's just life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you're refereeing, you see that you're getting good. You and I worked some initially early on. We ain't going to talk about my skills. Yeah.
No, you was good.
My mind just tended to drift sometimes. Cody Sam would say, son, wake your ass up. Yeah. Okay. I run right down the court. And Wayne will yell at me too, man. But the amount of focus it takes to referee. Yeah. Let's talk about the skill set. And we always see parents complaining to referees online. Mm-hmm. Give them a brief synopsis of how difficult it is to referee good talent. I think my personal opinion is it's hard to referee no talent because they beating each other up.
Right.
Arms and legs all over the place.
Right.
But when they're skilled players, talk about that.
Yeah, I probably would, agree with you that, when you have a good game, when you have a clean game, a lot of times the players are more skilled, right? Okay. And when you have a game where you probably see, less of skill, it is hard because you have more decisions to make. Right. So that's really, the difference. It's just one game you have a lot of decisions to make that people see. And when I say people see, foul, violation.
The obvious foul.
Or not even the obvious fouls. We always like to stay in the obvious. Okay. But there are some games that you see our decisions more visible because we're calling more fouls and violations.
Got it.
But in the other game that has a lot of talent in it, there's still the same amount of decisions, if not more. You all just don't see it because those calls are now no calls because they can play through more. And you don't want to stop momentum. So there's still a lot of decisions to be made when you have a lot of talent on the floor.
Right.
It's just you all don't see it visibly because the ball's going through the hoop.
Got it. So a game, let's say, I can say this now. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm trying to decide if I can say it or not, if I can clean it up so they don't know what I'm talking about. But I think, from my opinion, it's harder for kids that are on the AAU circuit to come back to their school and play because the officiating is somewhat more lenient in kids that may have college scholarships, like the EYBL circuit. These are top-level kids.
Right.
That it's just more physical.
Right.
You take that physical play and bring it back to your private school.
Right.
Then you're going to get more call foul. Mm-hmm. What you think about that?
So it's just a different referee, and it's a different atmosphere.
Right.
So EYBL, that circuit, right? That is the officials on that circuit, like myself, are going to camp. We're trying to get into college officiating, or you're already in it.
Right.
So to make it really drive home is that camp is an entry point to the SEC, Conference USA, Southern Conference, all these conferences, because the coordinator is responsible for about 9 different college leagues.
Wow.
You can't bring high school officiating and think that this guy wants to pick you up on their roster for the OVC.
Right.
It don't work.
It don't fly that way.
It doesn't fly that way. So from the player standpoint, the atmosphere, you're getting a different set of eyes because the criteria is different.
Right.
When you get to college, you're bigger, you're faster, you're stronger. We're not trying to live and die by handshakes.
Right.
You're not trying to live and die by marginal contact.
Right.
Where the high school game, and I can only speak for the state of Tennessee, but really the high school game is more about sportsmanship.
Okay.
And really that's a national federation rule.
Right.
It's more about sportsmanship.
Right.
Nobody's job and I can only speak for probably the city of Nashville, and since most coaches are teachers first.
Got it.
Coaches second. Can't speak for every other state, right? Your livelihood is not dependent on wins and losses.
Preach.
But at the college level, your livelihood is dependent on wins and losses.
Yes.
So you get a different viewpoint, you get a different eye. You cannot bring control of one level to the next level. It's just different.
It just don't work.
It don't work.
And so what I'm saying now is an uptick in parents. And I shout out to the parents because they want their son and daughter to do well.
Absolutely.
I get it. However, the things that you want for your children on the court takes away from somebody else's child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that I think that's sort of the common denominator. And I used to referee. I can't do it anymore. But it was tough. And I don't think parents understand it. Referees have to crowd manage. They have to coach manage, flow manage, and God forbid the best player is fighting like hell. I gotta talk to them. Come here, I gotta talk to you because you're killing me here.
Right.
You're making me do something that I don't want to do.
Well, I would say this to that point. The longer you officiate, the longer you get the tools of what it really means to officiate. And the one saying that we have in officiate, serve the game.
Right.
Put the game first. Put your two partners that you're refereeing second, and then put yourself third.
Okay.
And that's a national thing. Like a lot of parents may not. I mean, they definitely don't know that people really think that way. Like we're here to put the game first. I mean, you have some referees even at the college level have good jobs. It's not like you know,
right.
Or even in high school, because high school you cannot pay your bills, like your livelihood can't. So, you know, the shouts out to the parents, but one of the biggest misconceptions is we come to screw the game up.
Right.
Like that is so far fetched because on our text message thread, you know, and even back in your day, because I've talked to some referees that back in your day.
Right.
I'm fascinated. Number one, they was doing 2-man. And I know you. I know some of the guys. I'm like, hold on. What's fascinating to me is y'all was doing high-level high school with 2.
Right.
We have 3 now, right? To get a Maplewood White Creek game back in the day, sold-out environment.
Right.
The text message thread is, boy, that schedule, it just came on my schedule.
Gotta be ready.
You nervous before you even go to your real job.
Right.
Because you want to do good.
Right.
And then if you're and listen, white referees, black referees, like you know where you're going.
Right.
So I'm fascinated when I hear my counterparts, especially the older guys, especially the white officials. They're like, we the only 2 in there.
Right.
But I know who Sud is.
Right.
I know who Butch Hines was. Like,
right.
And I'm looking at, man, they flying high. Their stories are the best.
Oh my goodness, incredible.
But going back to the topic, they was thinking about that at work.
Right.
They was thinking about that on Thursday. It's not a time they want to come in and say, I want to infuse something that doesn't need to be there, right? So the parents have to understand that, you know, it is what it is with certain things, right?
Right.
But, you know, no one is going in intentionally trying to, you know, take anything away from your child. Most officials have children.
Right.
Most of them understand, have already went through it, are going to go through it.
Right.
Right. So yeah, that's the biggest misconception. But the more tools that you have, the more tools that you have to kind of answer that question is, and the better that you get, we don't have to crowd manage. Number one, that's for.
I'm speaking of.
Well, mentally, emotionally.
I'm speaking of. Great point.
Yeah.
Of the spaces that I have refereed.
Right.
NYBL. NYBA.
Right.
AAU. Mm-hmm. Small gyms. It is a form of crowd control.
Right. Now, on Saturdays, in summertime, for sure.
I'm speaking of my level, not your level.
No. But I like that you said that because you're absolutely right. On Saturday mornings, in the summertime, you are crowd control because there's no police officers there or there's no school administration. So what I do tell young officials, I even still do it. Sometimes you got to put yourself in those situations. Right. Don't put yourself in no crazy situation.
Right.
But put yourself in that situation because, and this is my laugh and joke about it though, right? But North Carolina Duke, that game, you're coming in the back door. Right. You're leaving the back door.
Right.
Nope, nothing's going to happen to you physically.
Right.
From an official point in that game.
Right. Nothing.
Saturday morning can get crazy with just little kids.
Mm.
Men's league on Sunday night can get crazy. So you better learn how to manage the crowd.
And we're not talking about, in the summertime, it's Championship Sunday. It's lit from 12 to that all day.
And see, I had my time where once I realized that.
Yeah.
Because when I first started out doing the summer.
Yeah.
You do your 4 games on Friday.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Back 10 years ago, I'm going to do my 10 on Saturday. I got to get to that 10.
Right.
And then I'm going to do my 6, 7 on Sunday. Right?
And all championship games is on Sunday.
Right. Then about 3 years in, I'm getting better. Cool. Hold on.
Right.
Sunday a little different. Why is Sunday a little different?
Right.
Oh, it's championship game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do from here on out, maybe 4 years in, we're going to do my 4 on Friday.
Right.
I'm going to do my 10 on Saturday.
Yeah.
You might get me on Sunday.
Right.
Or I might do 2 for you.
Right.
When it gets to the championship bracket, bring somebody else in because at that point, it was getting on my nerves.
Right.
Because y'all was more, the parents was more into, right.
Right.
So I kind of got smarter on that. Right. So
right.
it took me maybe 2 or 3 years where I wouldn't work on Sundays because sometimes it was a little too much. Like I just didn't feel like dealing with it. Right. But you're right. In middle school, and I haven't done a middle school game in a long time, it is crowd management.
Absolutely.
But I do stand on this, and like I like to tell young referees, you put yourself in those situations,
right?
But you learn it, and you still getting tools because your communication to the parents and to the coaches is your judgment. Was it a foul? Was it not?
Right.
Somebody's going to disagree with you all the time.
Right.
But the better that you get, the more control you have over your judgment, the more that you can think the game through. Like, and it needed right there. I need it right there. And then the more confidence that you stay out there, because when you're standing out there, people know who they can try to poke at. So when you see that referee and that parent's on the third row, you hear them, but sometimes you don't.
Right, you're exactly right.
So when you starting off as an official, you got rabbit ears. That's what they like to call it. You got rabbit ears.
Right.
The better you get, them things go, and then the better game that you get. People ask me that question all the time. Man, I ain't even here, dude. Because I'm trying to actually do a job.
Right.
And I want to show to myself, to my assigner, that I can deliver on the job that you're asking me to do.
And that's a misconception of refereeing. I think you are a high-level referee. I've seen you at Trifecta.
I appreciate it.
Division 2, trying to get to the next level. It's more so you got tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. Because, to your point, security there, ain't nobody going to run the court. Everybody do that.
Right.
Okay. 9 times out of 10, they may bend the ache for 2 or 3 seconds, and that's it. And when I tell officials, young guys, no matter what you call, just stand on it. Don't have a weak whistle. Mm-hmm. You have to blow that sucker like it's the last whistle in the world, and stand on it. Be strong with what you got to say, your techniques, your mechanics,
right,
and go from there.
And when you start doing that, then you start having an agenda of how you would like this thing to run.
Absolutely.
Obviously, and I tell officials this all the time, you can't control other people. So if the best player on the court is having a bad day, could have been a bad day at school, and just now they're missing shots.
Right.
Now they feel like they're getting fouled.
Right.
Yes, they can make it hard for you because people come to see that player.
Right.
Right. But you have an agenda.
Right.
All right. This is my threshold of what I allow coaches to say to me.
That's right.
How I allow them to act.
Right.
This is my threshold of how I allow players to talk to me. How they act. Once you start being able to check those boxes, then every game is consistent. And now the more and more these coaches come to you, you have them, the more and more the players, they only get to see you 4 years.
Right.
They understand what they can